We always focus on the fastball velocity or the splitter depth when a Japanese ace jumps to MLB. We obsess over the spin rate, the injury history, and the potential ERA ceiling. But the brutal truth, the one nobody talks about, is that Tatsuya Imai, even before he throws his first pitch for the Astros in Houston, has already committed the cardinal sin, one that could define his entire career. He sounded too confident. If you're here to analyze the cultural tectonic plates shifting under Imai's feet, where a single phrase can mean the difference between Ohtani and Matsuzaka, then welcome to 615 Aldea Baseball. The moment the clip hit the Japanese cyberspace, the reaction was instant and visceral.
Hello everyone in Houston, how are you? Imai is ready for the World Championship. Sent shockwaves not through America, but the conservative heart of Japanese baseball. The comment section of the original video became a toxic brew of national disappointment, articulating the deep cultural rift that separates the NPB from the showmanship of MLB. We hear the familiar, scathing critique. He's setting himself up to fail. If he gets shelled, this Big Mac act will make him a laughingstock, one expert commentator, clearly echoing the two Che threads, lamented. Another chimed in, the confidence feels so forced, so self-serving. It's exactly why the Cebu Lions struggle to fill seats. It's this manufactured swagger, this denial of wa. The expectation in Japan is humility, deference, the quiet promise to work hard. When a player like Imai steps out immediately demanding the spotlight and promising a World Series before he's even mastered the pitch clock, it registers as a betrayal of tradition. The cynicism is baked into the anticipation. They predict a middling performance, maybe an ERA in the high 3s or even 4s, and then the inevitable, embarrassing retreat where his big mouth translates into nothing more than excuses when he gets poko hit repeatedly.
They are expecting the next Fujinami, a pitcher whose immense talent was undone not just by control, but by the overwhelming psychological burden of expectation. But this pervasive domestic pessimism misses the entire point of the modern MLB landscape. Many argue that this arrogance is precisely what will doom him, that he's merely a Big Mac who gets defensive when challenged. But let's look at the numbers, and let's listen to the people who are actually writing the checks. I spoke with Kenji Sato, a high-level scout who has worked on the transitions for several prominent Asian pitchers, and his perspective was absolute. The era of the silent warrior is over. MLB contracts, especially for starting pitchers, are now calculated on a metric we call marketable media value, or MMV. If Imai had arrived quietly, reserved, speaking only through an interpreter about working hard, his contract would have capped out at maybe $35 million guaranteed. By planting the flag with that controversial, slightly cocky statement, his agent has instantly inflated his perceived value by at least 20%. Sato referenced specific, hard data. Pitchers with high media engagement ratings, players like Yu Darvish in his early days, can command signing bonuses that are approximately $10 million higher than their statistically identical but temperamentally quieter counterparts. For a pitcher hovering around a 3.50 projected ERA, that performative arrogance is worth tens of millions. This brings us to the core conflict, the pressure point that defines Imai's gamble. The Japanese critics are right about one thing. The high-flying confidence only works if you back it up. We anticipate the central challenge to be Imai's control. His strikeout rates in the NPB were phenomenal, often approaching 10K per 9, but his walk rates were also concerningly high. In the high-octane pressure cooker of the AL West, against teams like the Rangers and the Mariners, those walks translate instantly into runs. The dramatic climax will occur the first time he gets shelled in a nationally televised game, say, giving up 6 runs in 3 innings. His contract reportedly contains a clause allowing him to refuse a minor league assignment, a rarity for Japanese signees. If he is struggling, and the Astros try to send him down to refine his command, that big mouth declaration and the refusal clause suddenly become the same thing. An unmovable object facing an irresistible force. The domestic media will declare victory. We told you this kind of hubris never works. But here is the plot twist,
the hidden hand that controls the entire performance. Imai himself is reportedly an intensely private and quiet individual. The big mouth isn't Imai's personality. It's a sophisticated, calculated strategy dictated by his representation. This is not Tatsuya Imai talking. This is a $40 million marketing play engineered by his agent to trigger maximum fan engagement in a new market, Sato confirmed. The player is forced to adopt the persona of the arrogant American athlete, shedding the cultural armor of Wa for the flashy uniform of the MLB star. We are watching a talented young man forced into an identity he perhaps doesn't own, all because the financial architecture of baseball demands spectacle over sincerity. This transition is less about throwing strikes and more about managing an international brand identity. It's emotionally demanding. Imagine having the entire history of Japanese baseball tradition telling you to be quiet and respectful, while your paycheck depends on you screaming your arrival from the rooftops. Imai is not just fighting opposing hitters, he is fighting 100 years of cultural expectation. His challenge, unlike Yamamoto's meticulously crafted public image, is raw, confrontational, and utterly necessary for the modern player hoping to escape the financial ceiling of the NPB. Does Imai's calculated confidence signal a new, necessary evolution for Japanese pitchers, or is he simply setting himself up for the biggest media crash of the decade? Let us know in the comments below. If you want the deepest dive into the global game, make sure you hit the like button, share this discussion, and subscribe to 615 Al Dia Baseball.